Hey, what's up, guys? I hope you guys are having a good day. I'm Dr. Boyce Watkins from Your Black World, the Black Business School, and I'm going to spend a couple of minutes talking to you guys and say hello. And I hope you guys are doing well. And so here's what I wanted to address really quick. This has to do with something that I just saw. I want to give a shout out to my homeboy Willie D. Willie D, he is a rapper, a very good rapper, but he's just as good at being a black man, just as good at being an activist. And Willie D talked about something that really actually sparked my thinking on this to the point where I realized that there was a little bit more to say from my end on this issue. This has to do with Oprah Winfrey. You guys know about Oprah Winfrey and the whole Russell Simmons documentary that was going to be done. And I want to ask you guys, how many of you, give me a yes or no in the chat if you are aware that Oprah Winfrey backed out of the Russell Simmons documentary. Give me a yes or no if you know that this happened, if you're caught up on this whole situation. It was kind of a big deal. It's a big deal to me as a black man because I feel that black men are and always have been fighting for our lives. I feel that black men, we are and always have been in a situation where there are people that really want to see us gone. There are people that want to see us dead. And what makes it worse is that some of the people that want to see us gone and want to see us dead are people that look like us. These are, people that feel for whatever reason that black men can do no good, that black men can only harm other people, that black men are the reason for society's problems, that if you got a problem, blame it on the black man. Like anybody ever see that little girl, the little British girl where she was 3 years old and she stole the cookies. And it was the funniest video. It was cute, but not cute. Like it was funny, but not funny. And the little girl was telling her mother this big, bold-faced, crazy lie about what happened to the cookies, because she didn't want to get busted. So the mother kept asking her these little questions, just trying to be funny. Like, so you're saying that somebody came and took the cookies, and, broke into the house? And she said yes. And they climbed through the window and ate all the cookies. And she said yes. And she's like, and they took the cookies and they just ran off with the cookies, huh? And she's like, yes. And then the little girl at the end, she said, and it was a black man. Right. And it was a black man. And so you have to ask yourself, again, that's why I say it's funny, but not funny. You have to ask yourself, where does a child learn something like that? Where does a child learn the black man did it, as sort of the catch-all answer for everything? If you don't want to take responsibility for your actions in this society and many others around the world, all you got to do is say the black man did it. And that takes you off the hook. That's a very dangerous space for a black man to be, because that is what they call a scapegoat. Somebody say scapegoat, type scapegoat in the chat. That's why the black man is the perfect scapegoat, because the scapegoat is the person or the individual or the group that you blame for things that you don't want to take responsibility for. So for example, during Nazi Germany, when they wanted to exterminate the Jews, when Hitler hated the Jews, he made the Jews the scapegoat. He said, you can't pay your bills, it's the Jews did it. You can't afford your house no more, it's because of them damn Jews, right? And so basically by blaming the Jewish community for every problem that they had, what he effectively did was he set the landscape for the extermination of the Jewish people. He set the landscape to convince you that these people are rodents, that in his mind, they were menaces to society. In his mind, they could do no good. And in their mind, in the you think that's a coincidence? You think it's because just sort of get treated differently in terms of how justice is administered, how incarceration is administered, right? So ultimately, I don't know why this damn thing keeps freezing, guys. I hope you guys can hear me and see me. If you guys can hear me and see me okay, just say yes or no in the chat if you can hear me and see me. Can you see me and hear me okay? Give me a yes or no. I truly apologize for what's going on with the Wi-Fi. I got to call the cable company or something. I don't know, maybe COINTELPRO's on my ass or something. So anyway, so Oprah Winfrey does this interesting interview that really surprised me. She did an interview with CBS. Her buddy Gayle King is on CBS, and they get co-signed, by a bunch of white guys that give them all this power and this platform to do what they want. Now, mind you, the first thing I want you to notice about Oprah Winfrey's interview on CBS, which you're welcome to watch, I think it's important to hear all sides of the conversation, is notice that they had Oprah on the air, but they did not bring on Russell Simmons, right? Now, think about this. The topic of conversation, the person who's on trial, so to speak, for all this, for their misdeeds, is Russell Simmons. So if you're really trying to be fair, then why would you have Oprah on the air and not Russell Simmons himself? Why would you bring on one party and not the other? Why would you bring on one side of the story and not the other side of the story? That right there tells you that there's an agenda. If you ever want to know if there's an agenda, ask yourself, are we getting balanced amounts of information from both sides? Are you hearing from both the prosecution and from the defense? Are you hearing from the left and hearing from the right? Are you hearing from person A and person B? Or are you just hearing the story from one side? That is, as Stacey says and Gwendolyn says, sketchy, the word sketchy, right? If you accuse somebody of a very serious crime, the least you can do is ask them, did you do it? Right? Think about this. They never even asked Russell, did you do it? Think about this. Give me a yes or no. Has anybody heard anybody anywhere on the air bring Russell on the air for an interview and say, did you do it? Tell us your side of the story. What happened here? Now, one thing that the guy did say is, as Oprah was trying to sort of double label Russell as a double perpetrator, right? So on one hand, she was participating in these conversations about what Russell allegedly did, with women back 25, 30 years ago. I honestly believe that was a long time ago, and it doesn't mean justice isn't deserved, but I believe that there are things that have happened since then that deserve more attention. I believe, like right now, remember that if you're focusing on what somebody allegedly did 25 years ago, some old man who ain't doing nothing with nobody no more, because he's probably 60 something years old or 70 something years old or whatever. Bill Cosby's 82 years old. He ain't touching nobody now. He ain't getting into nothing. Why would you focus on an old man when you've got young men out here to go deal with? Right? That doesn't make any sense. So when she double labeled him as a perpetrator and basically said that Russell tried to pressure her into taking the documentary off the air, again, that feeds into the Me Too narrative. It feeds into, here this man was being an aggressive man and using his toxic masculinity to intimidate me into doing something, right? So you're double labeling him. And now one thing that the guy did say, in fairness to CBS, is he said something like, just to be clear, Russell has denied the allegation. Russell's denied the allegation that he tried to pressure Oprah into dropping the documentary. So that's at least a little bit of decent journalism. But for the most part, they failed journalism class. So in this whole conversation about Oprah and Russell and the documentary, one of the things I find just quite fascinating is just how stupid the world has become. I mean, I don't know. I think sometimes I was born on the wrong planet. I don't think that white Jesus intended for black men to be as intelligent as many of us are on this platform right now, because I don't know about you, but I see right through the bullshit. I don't know. Maybe they just think we're supposed to be dumb and we can't see it. But when you're giving me all of one side of the story and none of the other side, that right there is going to make me skeptical of you. That right there is going to make me say, okay, why won't you let me talk to him? I worked with this guy out in LA. This guy, his name was Tony White. And I remember he was, I felt like he was a con artist. I felt like he was trying to run a game. And I remember, when we had given him some money to do a job, and he wasn't answering all the questions. And we had a real ugly conversation, man to man. I got him on the phone. I was mad. I was really mad. Like, don't nothing make you madder than when you think another black person took advantage of your blackness. It happens to all of us, just in case you know. It happens to everybody, including myself. And I remember just saying, I said, what makes me not trust you is that when I'm asking you questions, you're not answering the questions. When I ask you, can I talk to this person over here? You're saying, don't worry about it. You ain't got to talk to that person. When I want information and transparency, you're denying me transparency. That right there tells me that you want some bullshit. And when I said that, I remember he got pissed off and he hung up on me and all that. I said, the reason he hung up on me is because I called him on his bullshit. So basically, when people are denying you access to information and not answering questions or only providing you one side of the story, that means they have an agenda. So Oprah and Gayle got an agenda. Oprah and Gayle made a plan before they did this interview on CBS. I believe that Oprah was talking because Oprah is facing pressure from both sides. Oprah's not used to this. Oprah's used to caving to Becky pressure. She's used to Becky writing the script, Becky laying out the framework, Becky defining what the rules are going to be, Becky defining the direction of the vehicle. She's used to that. She's not used to Black people stepping up in new Black media. She's not used to Black people, the Willie D's and or the Boyce Watkins is, plus the Tariq Nasheeds, plus the Vicky Dillards, plus the 50 Cents, plus everybody else jumping out and saying, hold up, what is wrong with you, right? Now, again, Oprah is used to operating in a Meghan Markle kind of bubble. The Meghan Markle bubble says, I'm Oprah, I'm royalty. I don't have to talk to these people. These people are peasants. They don't matter, right? They don't have platforms. They don't have a voice. And what she doesn't understand and what she's learning, what a lot of celebrities are learning, is that actually we do have a voice. I ain't shit. I'm just a guy out here talking smack on the internet. But guess what? Number one, I have a PhD, which means there's a good chance I could be smarter than you. Number two, I do have a few 100,000 people that will listen to me. That ain't 80 million, but 700,000 people, you can't ignore 700,000 Black people, because that's like reaching 3 or 4 million white people, because we're a smaller segment of the population. So myself conjoined with Willie, conjoined with Tariq, conjoined with Jason Black, the Black Authority, conjoined with Vicky Dillard, we have the ability to really get people to start asking questions about you. And the thing about it is, you can do this without going out here trying to lie to anybody. I'm not even here to lie to you. I'm not going to insult your intelligence by creating a false narrative or making a story up. I'm just going to lay out the facts. I'm going to lay out the facts and say, okay, exhibit A, exhibit B, exhibit C, what y'all think? Make your own decision, right? So at the end of the day, when you've got all these Black people out here that you're used to not listening to, that you're used to ignoring, who are suddenly able to reach hundreds of thousands, if not millions of people, and provide a counter narrative, then you're going to have to respond to that. You got to deal with that. Oprah seems to think, or she's always thought historically, that it was okay for her to just say, you know what, I'm on a higher vibrational frequency and I just don't pay attention to the negativity. I just don't pay. Okay, well, okay. Well, you keep on doing that. You keep acting like we don't exist, right? Now, some situations you can act like someone can be ignored. Like you can ignore something that's ignorable, but there's a point where, you ignore something for too long, it's going to get you fucked up. Like seriously, like I can ignore, I wouldn't do this, but I got a 9-year-old in the house, right? And she might say, Boyce, I really want you to do blah, 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 blah. Right. And I'm not going to say I ignore, but you know how you do with kids. Like you might be like, oh, she's just 9. She'll be fine. She'll be fine. But if my wife is saying the same thing and I ignore my wife, or if I blow it off like, oh, that's just the wife. Who cares what she thinks? Right. I'm going to pay a price for that. Right. Because there's a difference in power and the ability of her to impose her will relative to the 9-year-old. And so Oprah, unfortunately, she views the Black community, unfortunately, for many years, she has viewed the Black community like the way you might view your 9-year-old. She says, oh, yeah, they're mad, but it's okay. I don't care, whatever. And the whole time you're ignoring the Black community, people are railing on you. I mean, I got my finger on the pulse of the community. I do surveys on a regular basis. Whether we got a few 100,000 subscribers, I'll survey people and say, how do you feel about Oprah Winfrey? And it'll be like 80% will be like, I'm canceling Oprah. Fuck Oprah. And I'm sitting there thinking, you better get on the bat phone, because your reputation is mud within your own community. Your own people are now looking at you like a Klansman. You better get some people around you that can tell you this before you try to go back to the Black community and nobody's receiving you anymore. So ultimately, I think with Oprah, I was really surprised she did the interview on CBS. I don't know exactly why. I don't believe that she jumped out of the documentary. I tend to favor what Willie was saying. I don't believe that she dropped out of the documentary because she felt that Russell's pressure was too much. I think she dropped out of the documentary because the Black community's pressure was too much. And I believe she did the CBS interview because Becky pressure was too much. So Oprah's trying to straddle an unstraddleable fence. Because right now you have a situation with the Me Too movement where Becky is unfortunately at war with the black man. I'm marrying a beautiful black woman who happens to be a professor of social work, and she teaches a bunch of white kids about social work, and there are a few black people in the class too. And and she said, Boyce, it's not as bad as you think. She said a lot of white people even understand how the Me Too movement is being used as a way to attack and vilify the black man without evidence. That she said she asked them about the Me Too movement, and she said even these little white girls who are studying social work in her classes are saying, oh yeah, the Me Too movement, that's nothing but an excuse to take down black men. So if even white people are understanding this, then you've got something that needs to be addressed and needs to be discussed. So do me a favor. Could you please hit the thumbs up button, share, subscribe button. I see you guys in there. I see JP, Marcia, Deed, Kimberlyn. I saw my homeboy David Banner in there. Love you, David. Hope you're feeling better, homeboy. He's a good guy. David is a smart guy and a very good guy. And he gives hopes to the future of the community. I love that brother a lot. And also, if you want to check out some of the other stuff we have going on, special events, classes, books, you can go to boycewatkins.com. That's boycewatkins.com. All right. So let me just say this. With Oprah facing, what's going on with this particular situation, she's getting the Becky pressure saying, okay, you're not standing up for women, right? Because they believe that standing up for women means destroying black men. That if you're not out helping us destroy black men, then you must hate women. And that is unfair to Oprah. It's unfair to everybody, because we know that's not true. She's getting pressure from the black community that's saying, hey, like at least give this guy a fair hearing, right? And it's a tough conversation to have because as a black man, I feel like I want to stop the predators too. And also as a black man, I'm not going to be out here. I can't be out here vouching for what every other man does in the bedroom. I don't know what Russell Simmons does when he's having sex. I don't know. I don't care. I don't know what Bill Cosby does when he's laying down with women. I don't know nothing about that. So I don't really even know, I want to make it 100% clear that I'm not out here screaming, oh my God, they're innocent. They're innocent. They're innocent. I'm saying that you haven't proven that they were guilty. And also you're proving without a doubt that you're biased. Because here's the deal. If Oprah wants to make all this go away, if Oprah wants to make all this black pressure go away, which I think that she's hearing this, I think she's responding to this, all she's got to do is one thing. If Oprah does this one thing, the pressure will go away. Get on camera and do some sort of documentary about your homeboy Harvey Weinstein. Get on camera and talk about the white guys. If you're only talking about the black guys and you ain't talking about the white guys, then what happens is you have no credibility at that point because you're showing an extraordinary racial bias. Because we know, anybody knows, everybody knows, even the dumbest among us know that most sexual predators are not black men. Can we at least agree on that? The majority of the criminals are not black men. We're not even the majority of the population. Seriously, who has the longer, worse, more ratchet history when it comes to predatory behavior? Black men or white men? Seriously, I mean, so the fact that you're gathering your entire collection of predators, like you're seeking justice, you're gonna right the wrongs, or right society's wrongs, right? You're gonna do the right thing, and you are literally like imposing your will only on one tiny segment of the population. Well, people are gonna look at you like, what the fuck is wrong with you? Like, are you serious right now? Like, you ain't pursuing no damn justice. Like that don't even make no damn sense. You right now, you acting like the police act when they want to fight city crime and they're only fighting city crime in one neighborhood. And they're stopping and frisking people in one neighborhood. They're only doing police runs in one neighborhood. They're kicking down doors in one neighborhood. And then you can go to the other neighborhoods and people got all kinds of stuff going on. And you ain't got nothing to say about that. Nothing to see here, folks. Everything's fine. Asking no questions. But when you get to that one neighborhood, suddenly you all about fighting crime. Come on, get out of here with that. Like, that doesn't even make any sense. I don't even have to dislike Oprah to make that point. I don't dislike Oprah. I've actually, you could go back a couple years where I actually said some pretty favorable things about Oprah. I'd never hated Oprah, but I hate this. I hate this. And I think you guys should hate this too. And here's another thing too. We were talking about, sometimes I'll talk about even Weinstein's case, not because I believe Weinstein is a good guy. I don't. I think Weinstein, here's what's crazy, right? I knew about Harvey Weinstein before all that went public. I knew And I'm not even in Hollywood like that. Dame Dash told me about why. I talked to Vlad and Dame Dash. They each had a Harvey Weinstein story. And Vlad on the phone, we were talking about the time where Harvey did something nasty in the kitchen with some girls and Dame cussed. Oh, no, Vlad told me about when Dame cussed out Harvey because of something, right? And then he was like, this guy, he cusses out Harvey Weinstein. Why? Who would do that, right? This was back at the time where everybody was down with Harvey, when Oprah was kissing him on the cheek, Hillary Clinton's taking pictures with him. Everybody wanted to be connected to Harvey Weinstein at that time. Later on, I remember Damon Dash telling me a story about Harvey Weinstein where I was like, I don't know who this fucking guy is, but he sounds like a nasty motherfucker. Like really, I remember thinking that, like, oh, guy, like, oh, man. But those Hollywood people, man, they're crazy, right? I remember thinking that. And then later on, it's revealed that all this pops off. So think about this. I'm not even in Hollywood like that, and I knew about Harvey Weinstein. So if I know about Harvey Weinstein and I'm not a Hollywood guy, you don't think Oprah Winfrey knew about Harvey Weinstein too? You don't think Oprah and Gail heard the stories that I heard and then some? You don't think that all these other people knew? So if they're not talking about Harvey, then what's happened is you've lost your credibility to talk about anybody. You're not talking about Harvey. You can't talk about Michael Jackson till you talk about Harvey. You can't talk about Russell Simmons and have credibility until you talk about Harvey. The same thing. And the thing is that lack of credibility, give me 1 second, babe. That lack of credibility that hits Oprah, it extends to Gail. It extends to CBS. CBS has undermined their journalistic integrity by allowing themselves to be used as a platform to validate Oprah and Gail's lack of credibility on the persecution and prosecution of Black men that they feel did something wrong 25, 30 years ago when it can't even be proven. Seriously, think about this. You up here fighting, you fighting time crime. You fighting crime, Jim. You're fighting crime from 30 years ago, and there's plenty of crime happening right now. Like, that's what's hilarious to me. You're literally obsessed with talking about what Russell Simmons allegedly did or did not do in 1992, but ain't got nothing to say about what's happening to young children in Hollywood right now with some of your buddies in the year 2020. Do you guys get what I'm saying? Give me a yes or no if you're following this logic, if this is resonating, if you follow what I'm saying here. Like, it's absolutely ridiculous. It doesn't even make any sense. So anyway, my woman just came home and she's asking me if I want to go to the gym. And y'all know I'm getting ready for this half marathon this week, and I am so not ready. And she writes me little notes like this because she doesn't want to interrupt me. But it's like that's her code word for get the fuck off the internet so we can go do what we got to do. But she's very nice about it, by the way. She's loving, but I know when I get my orders. So by the way, if you want to check out some of the stuff we have going on, feel free to go to boycewatkins.com. You can also go to theblacklectureseries.com if you want to join our lecture coming up on commercial real estate tomorrow night. In the Black Business School, Herb Strather is speaking on commercial real estate, and he has done $2 billion worth of real estate deals. These are the kinds of professors that we have for you, smart Black people who've actually got experience, who've actually gone out and made money. Also, last but not least, if you'd like to support the platform, we'd love to have you as a member of our League of Intelligent Black People. Feel free to go to intelligentblackpeople.com. That's intelligentblackpeople.com. So stay up, guys. Have a good night, and I will see you soon. Be good. Peace.